I have been using the Samaya Ultra 60-liter pack for a year and on one big expedition. Let's talk about the pack's pros and cons. Hello again, I'm Jason. Samaya makes accessories, tents, and packs, and their ultralight line is very consciously crafted for alpine climbing and missions where weight really matters. Amongst that line of products is the Ultra 60 pack. It has a 150 denier seam-sealed Dyneema composite body that is waterproof up to 20,000 millimeters in a hydrostatic head test, which is equivalent to a well-made hard-shell jacket. The base is a Dyneema Cordura 300 denier weave for added abrasion resistance. Starting with the positives, two things really stood out to me. The modular features that allow me to remove them or add them back to customize the pack to my mission, and the thoughtfulness of design around the various buckles and straps and attachment points that make using the pack very easy with gloves. Fully stripped down, my particular pack weighs 519 grams or 1 pound 2.3 ounces. With all the various attachments, it weighs 921 grams or 2 pounds and half an ounce. That's an ounce and a half less than the advertised 560 grams and 965 grams, respectively. Removable features include the aluminum frame at 105 grams or 3.7 ounces and the EVA back foam that is 98 grams or 3.45 ounces. With both included, and given the large range of adjustment on the shoulder straps, which I will come to, this pack has easily been able to support expedition weight carries on the big mountains of Asia, let alone my local camping trips. The side compression straps are also removable at around 20 grams or 0.7 ounces each, with weight varying depending upon the two different attachment styles. You can remove the ice axe holders at both the upper position and at the lower position, all weighing about 3 grams or 0.1 ounces each. Obviously, you can remove the helmet holder, weighing in at 9 grams or 0.3 ounces. If you are really going light, or if you want the pack out of the way of your climbing harness, the hip belt is also removable, and it weighs 94 grams or 3.3 ounces. Finally, even the sternum strap is removable, and therefore also adjustable, and weighs 16 grams or 0.55 ounces. For non-removable features, it has an internal zip pocket that is 8 inches by 9 inches or 20 by 23 centimeters. It has an extendable Dyneema roll-top collar to add more carrying capacity, and has a draw cord at the bottom of the collar if you pack below the shoulder line. To accommodate that collar, the top hood has 2 attachment points for a top strap, one at the rear of the hood and the other at the front for when the collar is up and the pack is completely full. That top strap seemed odd at first with the middle opening on the buckle, until I realized how much easier this was to use with thick gloves. A twist of the wrist locks it into place at the rear attachment. At the front attachment, it is even easier, sliding and pressing the buckle down from the sewn narrow point to the wider section of webbing. There is a top pocket in the hood, which I find to be enough for essentials like food, a GPS device, thicker gloves, and my glacier glasses. The hull strap is reinforced in thickness and also has considerable length of stitching all the way to the side of the back panel, so I'm confident that I won't lose my pack should I need to haul it, even when carrying big expedition weight. As I implied earlier, the load lifting straps actually go quite a ways down the shoulder straps, meaning quite a large amount of peak height can be gained when we pull on those straps. Thoughtfully again, the load lifting straps have a little loop at the end, twisted and folded so that they sit flat, but then a burly gloved hand can reach into the loop to tug and adjust the strap. At the bottom rear is a 1000 denier protection loop to hold in place the picks of our ice tools or axes. The hip belt has gear carrying loops for a light alpine rack, and it also has pulk loops for connecting a sled. The hip belt buckle is another glove-friendly design. We take the smaller end and run it through the larger end from underneath. Then that larger end pinches down on the webbing, holding everything in place. To release that buckle, we pull on the finger of webbing that is coming from the smaller side of the buckle until that pops and the buckle is released back through. I've never had the buckle accidentally release in the field. I did, however, need to modify the larger buckle end. I found that side would sometimes loosen. Not so much that the buckle would undo, but enough for me to lose some of the carrying weight on my hips, which was then transferred to my shoulders. To fix that, I cut off the sewn end so that I could pull the webbing all the way through that side of the buckle. I then re-threaded the webbing in a classic doubled back fashion, the way old climbing harnesses used to close. That locked that side of the strap in place, so it no longer slips. That does mean, however, that my waist strap is basically one-sided when it comes to adjusting the fit. There were some other cons too, or maybe trade-offs is the right word. I added a bit of 3mm cord to the back when I wanted to carry both a helmet and crampons on the outside of the pack. I added weight, but it was something I was missing and wanted to add. And speaking of weight savings, the shoulder straps and hip belt are very thin. The pack assumes you are wearing layers that help increase the padding. So there's an implicit bias towards cold weather pursuits. That bias is only reinforced by the tight fit and lack of breathing room at the back. That all means a good snug fit when moving technically, and given the waterproof fabric, a robust resistance to the elements, but it means in the summer, the pack can carry very warmly, and I can get a sweaty back. As far as durability goes, I've only gotten stains after a year of hard use. I haven't found a single puncture, rip, or pulled stitch yet. That's only going to be a matter of time, but it's nice to see it holding up so well. Of course, the biggest con might be the price. None of Samaya's stuff is cheap, but they are incredibly well thought out and have construction that allows for longevity. Still, as I type this, it is on sale. It might not be when I post this video, and it might not ever be again, but it goes to show that there are times when the price goes down. What do you look for in a pack? Different packs for different pursuits? Tell us about your pack choices in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to support us. For more information, you can go to our website at www.shortguysbetaworks.com. You can watch a video on how to make one of your own polk sleds for those big winter outings, or you can check out our entire gear modification, use, and review playlist. We'll see you next week, and keep on getting more out of that big outside.